Hello, lovely, and welcome to Squeeze Cauldron. I'm your host, Sarah Evergreen, as always, and today we're going to talk about quitting. It's something that has been on my mind because I'm quitting something. I'm not quitting this channel. I am quitting doing the book club for Women Who Run with the Wolves. And yeah, I'm quitting it hard. If you're not familiar with why I started it, my friend Roxy and I we're going to be reading this book together, this book together. What did I open to? And here, we'll just put it up as a little thing right there. I've started this book many times in my life and never got past max halfway. Roxy's the same. She's never gotten past, I think, chapter 2, and I've heard from many other people that they've, done the same thing. Marcy on, hi Marcy on this channel. It's a dense book. When I was doing the introduction for the book club, I used that word so many times. Dense. It's dense. It's dense. It's dense. You know what another thing, another kind of corollary word for dense is? Heavy. It's heavy. I have enough heaviness in my just general makeup of who I am and how I operate in the world that I don't think I need to add more. And this book is so heavy. It's heavy not only in its content, but in kind of the role that it's played. It's this book that I thought that I had to read. There's a quote by Maya Angelou on the front. Everyone who can read should read this book. And I saw that and I was like, yeah, Maya Angelou says that everyone who can read should read this book. You know who I don't read? Maya Angelou. And that doesn't make me a bad person. That's the thing about trying to get through this book. And then I brought it into the space of doing a live stream book club for it because I thought that that would help me actually make it through. And instead, what it did was create this kind of obstacle course in my life where I should be reading this book, I should be doing the book club, I should be taking notes. And I know for Roxy too, having this read along with me didn't actually spur her to read the book either. And I haven't talked to her about the fact that I'm quitting this yet, but I will tomorrow. So this video will probably come out after that because I don't want her to find out about that through this video. That would be unkind. What it comes right down to is I don't want to force myself to do anything. I don't want to do anything out of a sense of obligation, whether that is obligation to another person or obligation to an idea of who I think I should be rather than who I actually am. And who I actually am is a person that does not enjoy this book, and actually is a person that disagrees with quite a few things, even within the first couple of chapters that I've read from her. I find this book to be quite pretentious at this point in my life, and I think that I always have, but that I have been scared to say that out loud, because Maya Angelou says that everyone who can read should read this book. So what does that say about me that I don't want to? What does that say about me that I find quite a lot of fault in the way that it's written and in the things that she says? You know what that says about me? That I have different values, that I have a different approach to life, that I'm my own person. It doesn't say that I am stupid. It doesn't say that I don't get it. Whatever it is. It just says that I would rather read something else. And I did. I started reading this book called Mortal Lessons, Notes on the Art of Surgery by Richard Seltzer, and it's so fucking good. Like, it's brought me to tears multiple times in just the first chapter and a half, just because of the way that it's written and the things that he writes about. I'm getting off topic here. My point is that I'm excited about this book. I'm excited about exploring these writings, whereas this just makes me feel heavy. It makes me feel dense. It makes me feel like the energy that needs to flow through me so that I can be happy, healthy, calm, productive. It makes that feel stuck to some degree. And she talks about in chapter 2 about opening the door to your psyche and having the strength to stand what you see there, to stand recognizing the ways that you have sold yourself, essentially, and the ways that that has deadened parts of you. And ironically, this book and my attempts to read it over and over and over again, and the book club born out of trying to force myself to read it, is one of those things. It's a thing that I sold myself to that has deadened part of me. So I acknowledge that and I allow myself to quit. Done. This is something, the quitting, that I have a lot of experience with. So, human design, I'm a 1-3. The 1 line is the investigator. So when I get curious about something, I go into it. I get really into it. I watch videos about it. I read about it. I study, That's what the investigator does. The 3 line, my unconscious line, which means the line that I have a harder time coming to terms with and recognizing consciously, is the martyr or the experimenter. This line is all about experiencing things firsthand, diving in, trying things out, and failing, and failing, and failing, and failing, and quitting and quitting and quitting, over and over and over, until the thing that's going to work emerges from all of that trial and error. This is how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to try things and fail. I'm supposed to try things and quit. I'm supposed to get my hands dirty and to show all of you, or whoever, I don't know, the messy behind the scenes, the triumph and the despair of all of it. The yes, this worked, or the no, this didn't, or yes, this worked for a little while and then it didn't. I've seen it happen over and over in Squeaky's Cauldron, even from the time that it was a podcast to now, how many different things that I've had to try, while knowing at the core of it, this thing about me expressing myself, about using my voice, that is the nugget, the kernel of the thing that works, that just works, and that I need, and that I love. How that comes about is a different story and has shifted over the years, and I'm sure will continue to shift. But this is how I'm supposed to work. And I've beat myself up a lot about it throughout the years. All the different careers that I have moved down, all the different fields that I've moved in, the different relationships that I've had, the different friendships that I've had, the different interests that I've had that go like this. It's not a character flaw. It's the design that God gave me. I'm here to try things out, and I'm here to bring that information, what I learn from trying things out, back to the world, and use my unique perspective to do that, my unique insights to do that. So that's what I'm doing. So what insight can I offer for this period of quitting this book and this book club? don't read anything out of obligation. I love romance novels. I love romance novels, and I was introduced to smut novels, I guess at some point last year when I read A Court of Thorns and Roses and then just kind of exploded into the smut world. That genre, those genres, have been maligned so much in the literary field, but that's what I enjoy reading. And I'm not saying that that's what you have to enjoy reading. It's quite the opposite of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is read what you love. Do what you love. Don't do things out of this feeling like you have to do them in order to be a certain kind of person, in order to please someone, whether that someone is someone you actually know or that someone is an idea of a person that you've cooked up that you're supposed to kowtow to. Don't do it. Be you. You know what you love. And if you don't know what you love, go and try things out. Read a smut novel. Highly recommend. Definitely recommend. Read a bunch of smut novels, like better than therapy in a lot of ways. Not a replacement for, but holy shit. Yeah. Do what you love. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Do what you love. Don't do what makes you feel heavy. Don't do what makes you feel like you're working from obligation. Don't do anything that makes you feel resentful. Even if it's just resenting a book, because I found myself resenting this book so much. Like, I have the desire to kind of just throw it off of my balcony. And my cat, in his preternatural way, also kind of knew that the end was coming long before I did. Yeah, as did my husband. Because when we talked about this, he was like, man, I thought that you would cling on to that a lot longer than you did. Yeah, he sees me try a lot of things and then get into this mindset of, oh, I have to do it because I've said I have to do it. I've said I'm doing it, so clearly I don't. If you have anything in your life that just feels heavy and mucky and gross, and that you just don't want to do, consider the possibility of just not doing it. And I would love to hear from you about any of that down in the comments. I wish I had a more specific question to ask you, but yeah, let me know how all of this sits with you, how all of this finds you, and whether or not you've read this book and what your thoughts on it are. So, until next time, my lovely, as always, use your voice. It is the only one you have, and we need it.